Hi guys, we're now doing a task on FIFO, which is first in, first out. You must remember with FIFO that basically goods which are bought first are sold first. So that means closing stock is valued at the latest purchase price. Okay, so if you look at the question here, on task 10.7, Humbert stores sells briefcases to the general public. He makes use of the FIFO method to value his stock. In 10.7.1, we have to calculate the value of the closing stock. Now, if you look at your information, the last bullet, they've told us that stock on hand is 36 briefcases. So I put in 36 units on hand. And remember, the closing stock is valued at the latest purchase price. Okay, so that means that when you value our closing stock, so I want you to look at the number of briefcases that were sold. 84 briefcases were sold. So 84 briefcases were sold. That means that in January, January 60 briefcases were bought. So they were already sold because they are included in the 84. In June, 40 briefcases were bought. Okay, but they were not all sold. Okay, because only 84 were sold for the year. Okay, so and then in October, none of the briefcases bought were sold for the year. Okay, so the closing stock is what's left. The closing stock is the stock units that are left over at the end of the year. In this case, 36 briefcases were left over at the end of the year. And those 36 units will not be valued at January's price because all those units were sold. First in, first out. Goods that were bought first were sold first. Then in June, some of those units were sold and some of those units are part of closing stock. And in October, all of the units are part of closing stock. So we actually start from the bottom of the schedule at the latest date, which is October. So in October, the number of briefcases bought were 20. And the price in October was 800 per briefcase. Okay. Okay, and that gives us an answer of 16,000 there. Okay, but the number of units in stock were actually 36 units. So what is 36 minus 20? It is 16. These 16 units will be valued at the price that it was bought at in the month before October, which is June. So in June, the price of the briefcases was 700 Rand. Okay, and that gives us the value of 11,200. All that's left to do is add up the answers, and this is the figure that we're going to use for the value of closing stock. Okay, you'll see me doing it slightly differently in other questions where I will use branches. Okay, in 10.7.2, calculate the cost of sales for the period 1st January to 31st December. So here we're doing it for the whole year. Okay, we're going to start with our standard calculation. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock gives us cost of sales. Remember, from purchases we subtract returns. If there was carriage, we would add it, etc. But this question doesn't have all of that. Okay, so we're going to start with opening stock. Okay, so opening stock. Okay, so opening stock, the question didn't have any opening stock. Okay, some questions don't have. Purchases, okay, we have to calculate our purchases because they've purchased various goods at different times of the year. Okay, so basically in January, they bought 60 at 600 Rand. Okay, in February, in June, 40 at 700 Rand each, and in October, 20 at 800 Rand each. Right, so we're just going to work out the answers to get the final answer for purchases, which I'm going to put in here. Okay, the closing stock we just calculated in 10.7.1. Remember, closing stock must always be subtracted in your calculations. That will give you an answer of 52,800. In 10.7.3, we have to calculate the gross profit, which is sales minus cost of sales. 84 briefcases were sold, and the selling price per briefcase is 1,000 Rand. So 84 times 1,000 is 84,000. The cost of sales we just calculated above, and that will give us gross profit. In 10.7.4, we have to prepare the trading account in the general ledger. Okay, the trading account format is very important. So on the debit side, on 1st January, you have opening stock. Then at the end of the year, so in this case 31st December, we'll put in purchases. We will also list carriage on purchases, customs duty, etc. here, but this question doesn't have it, right? Sorry, let me just remove this. Okay, then on the credit side, okay, again on 31st December, we're going to have our sales amount. Okay, for other questions, please remember from sales we subtract debtors allowances. Our folios here are all GJ. And this account gets closed off to the profit and loss account, which is the gross profit. So this is a standard format that you can learn. We're just going to slot in the figures now. So our opening stock, there was no opening stock in this question. Purchases, 80,000. Sales, 84,000. Closing stock, 27,200. Okay, you're going to look at which side looks bigger to you. So it's definitely the credit side. Put your answer in on both sides and balance out to find the gross profit. Okay, that's all there is to this question. The next video will be task 10.8. Bye.